excited to be able to kick this off. Yvette Clarke and I created the Creators Caucus because we recognize that this is such a massive, growing industry. Literally every single Congress member, every single district across the country is full of creators, full of really inspired new folks who want to make a difference in their world, in their community, literally all across the globe. And Congress has a way of being able to help, or Congress has a way of being able to hinder. And what we wanted to do was make sure that we are allowing an open forum for all these content creators from across the country to be able to come and have direct access with the lawmakers. Because it is such a niche market, and yet it is such a global market. And we recognize how fast it is growing, the influence that you've got. The influence that you've got not only among folks who live in our country, but literally around the world. And so we wanted to open up this Creators Caucus to specifically be able to open up and have dialogue. So there's a lot of meetings that I know that I have already had, and I know that Congresswoman Clarke has had, pretty much everybody has had, regarding issues with taxes, issues with image and likeness, issues with some trade policies that we've had, specifically in Canada, and how they're wanting to tax some of the content that you all are creating. These are things that Congress needs to get involved in. We want to make sure that we are doing what we can to protect the creators, that we are doing what we can to protect this industry, and recognize the contributions that you're making to the economy. And so this has been a phenomenally bipartisan effort. I think it needs to be. There's so many things in Congress these days that aren't that way, but this should be a way to unite people. My first foray really into to how large this market was when I attended the ribbon cutting over at Dude Perfect in Texas, in North Texas. And I'll be honest with you, I've never heard of Dude Perfect before, but I got a 24-year-old son who looked at me as if I was absolutely crazy that I had not heard of them. And he said, "Mom, do you know how many tens of millions of followers that they have?" And I went to their ribbon cutting, and it was amazing. These are dozens of people who are being employed, and they've almost grown twice as big from this time last year. These are legitimate businesses that are helping to move the economy and their communities and their states. And they need to be recognized as such, and we need to have respect for them as such. So, I'm never going to say, "Hey, knock, knock, we're the government, how can we help?" But we do need to make sure that we're listening firsthand to the people who are experiencing some of the pains, who have ideas about what we could do to help them grow, that we need to make sure that we are protecting our kids and having this be a safe platform. But what we also don't want to do is so overregulate it that we are preventing the growth. And those folks who are involved in it the most are the ones who should be talking to us. And you should have a conduit into Congress. And this is the way. This caucus is one way to be able to do that. So I want to welcome all of you here today. So excited. I would love to see this be a massive annual event. And I want to kick off by, I know unfortunately Congressman Clarke got pulled away to a different meeting, but Congressman Horsford has been a phenomenal partner in this as well. He is part of this caucus. He's also a member with me on Ways and Means. And Congressman Horsford, come on up.
Thank you, Congresswoman Van Duyne. It's great to be with you. Thank you for your work and your partnership, along with Congresswoman Yvette Clarke. I'm the stand-in for the Congresswoman, but it's all of you that we're here for, the content creators who, look, yes, you have been a niche sector, but you're evolving so much more beyond that. And the reason that we support this and that it's bipartisan is that this is about ownership, not just being the consumers of it, but to be the owners of it, and to make sure that we set policy that centers you and your content and what you're creating and the audiences that you have influence with and the impact that you're able to make because of your credibility with those audiences. So on behalf of all of us as part of the Congressional Creators Caucus, I want to start by just saying thank you. I also want to recognize the platforms that are central to getting this message out. And I've been working as the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus's Tech and Innovation Brain Trust, specifically on making sure that we protect these platforms and that we ensure that you, as the content creators, again, have ownership in the content and where it goes forward. Any discussion about ownership should include you and protect your value that you've built. Because the only reason that some of these platforms are as successful as they are is because of you. And so I think that has to be a part of the conversation going forward. I've done events in my district with content creators. We just had a town hall where content creators were part of the panel and helped us get the word out around the voting rights issues. We've had town halls and roundtables with content creators talking about the creator economy and where it's going, and specifically how they can help influence that. Vegas Starfish is in the house from Las Vegas, so thank you for being here, one of our phenomenal content creators, and I know there are many others, but I just want to say it's important that you are here and that you participate because your voice matters. Your audiences matter, and you can have tremendous impact, not only here in the halls of Congress, but all across our communities that we serve. And this is not a partisan issue. This is not a party issue. This is a pocketbook issue. And this is about centering the people, all of you who have created the content that is worth protecting and worth expanding. So thank you again for being here, to all the staff and to the Congressional Creators Caucus for bringing everyone together. Have a great time, everybody.
And we also have with us today the chairman of our Small Business Committee, another fellow Texan, Congressman Roger Williams.
Thank you guys for doing this. I'm a creator also. Yeah. I'm trying to create some sales back home in Texas as well. But I want to say thank you for your leadership, for what you're doing. I do chair the Small Business Committee. 99% of the businesses in America are small businesses. And some of you are even smaller than that, but you're getting a lot done. And you have to have the ability to create. You have to have the ability to think. Government needs, in many cases, most cases, stay out of the way, let your competition work, because everything's driven. I don't care if it's the biggest business, the smallest business, or creators. It's all driven by competition. And we don't mind competing against each other, but we don't want to compete against the federal government, I don't think. That's not going to work. So I want to thank all of you for doing what you're doing. We're going to help you grow. Because you're the backbone of our economy. We got the greatest economy in the world, and you're just adding to it. And I, as chairman of the committee, with Beth advising me, we will make sure that we protect your industry and that you grow as big as you want to grow and fast as you want to grow, because America's the greatest country in the world, and one of the reasons is because of what you all do and the creators and the minds that you have to move our country forward. So count on our committee. God bless all of you, and keep selling.
And I also want to welcome to the microphone someone who was very, very instrumental in kicking this all off, and that's Matthew Patrick from MatPac. It has been a tremendous honor to get to know you and your wife and all of your accomplishments and your concern, your interest in this, in the realm and moving forward. And I just want to thank you for bringing this to our attention and letting us know what a massive and burgeoning industry that this is. So thank you very much for what you do. Come up and tell us about you.
Thank you to Representative Van Duyne and Representative Clarke for both their continued support of us creators as well as organizing this event. It is so thrilling to see a room so excited to learn about everything that myself and all my fellow creators are doing online. And I think this is the good first step to what's going to be an incredibly revolutionary change here with creators in Congress. My name is Matthew Patrick, better known online as MatPat, and I was a YouTube educator for the better part of 13 years, where I was making learning fun for an audience of 50 million subscribers. My wife and I eventually built out our business to be 50 employees before we sold it in 2025, and now we're living an offline life, which is nice. We are retired, and we're doing what all retirees do, thinking too much about politics, which is why I'm here today. my goal here, and our goal collectively as a part of this caucus, is to represent the growing impact of the creator economy. At this point, it is a major force of change. It is a major force of economic change. And sadly, it is a voice that is currently largely invisible to the government. And so thanks to Representative Clarke, we're looking to change that. For those of you in this room who came to this event looking to understand the scale and the power of the creator economy, I tell you to look no further than your phones. The phones that you're holding right now pointed at me, right? Have you ever stopped to think about why your phone looks the way that it does? Why is it equipped with top-of-the-line audio equipment, professional-level cameras, a giant screen that you can scroll on? It's not because we suddenly got really passionate about high-fidelity phone calls. It's because of content. This is the tool of the content creator. It is for filming content, creating content, editing content, and ultimately consuming content. And that's certainly done by people in this room, some of the big YouTube, TikTok studios that everyone knows and kind of associates with what it means to be a content creator. But it's also true of the small mom and pop businesses who are creating videos to promote their products on Facebook Shop or on Facebook Marketplace or TikTok Shop. We are all content creators. I know there was a joke there a second ago that I'm a content creator, but you are. You have a platform, you have a voice, whether you're speaking to millions of people online or just a small family circle. That is your sphere of influence. Unfortunately, though, like I said, we don't have a lot of visibility into this space. Despite representing a huge portion of the economy right now, we don't have a tax code. If you ask a general creator business how they file their taxes, there is no standard drop down that we can identify as. And that data has trickle down and waterfall effects into the information that you and the government receive, so that way we don't have visibility. We are oftentimes on the front lines of having our addresses leaked because we're public figures but don't have protections of our identities online, our addresses online. I myself can speak on behalf of the fact that I have to make the choice between keeping my address private and my ability to vote locally. And that's not something that we should that's not something that we should have to make the choice about, especially in a world where everyone has some level of an online presence. Creators are oftentimes the first to be affected by AI. We're the first to be deep-faked. Our images, our voices are being scanned and used to scam products to young audiences. And lastly, and that shouldn't be the case. And then lastly, the creator job is one that is oftentimes a young person's first paycheck. It is also the #1 most desired career path in America right now, to be an online content creator. But the business education to support those young entrepreneurs just doesn't exist right now. It is a gap, and it's causing generations of young startup small businesses get off on the wrong foot in their most instrumental and most influential years. So again, I thank Representative Clarke and Representative Van Duyne for being here today, for making this event happen, for all of you to show the interest here, because together, I think the change is going to come. Thank you for your time.
Hi, everybody. My name is Seth Magaziner from Rhode Island, and I'm a proud member of the caucus. I want to thank Representative Clarke and Representative Van Duyne for bringing us together, and all of you for participating so that we can all learn from you. And that's, I think, really the purpose of the caucus, is so that we can learn from you, so that we can make your government more responsive to you. From what I've heard in the conversations I've had with a number of people in this space, is that it's an exciting but hard and rapidly evolving landscape. Income is often unpredictable. You are not only content creators, but you are entrepreneurs and small business owners, and making sure that you have the skills and the support in order to be successful entrepreneurs and small business owners is absolutely essential. We need to make sure that you have clear information from the platforms on what the algorithms like and don't like, how payment and revenue and reach work, so that you can all operate on a fair playing field and sort of an equally informed vantage point to make sure that you're able to maximize your earning potential. And we, as a Congress, I think, have a lot of work to do to make sure that creator rights and content ownership is really figured out and codified in a way that allows you all to have full ownership of your work. But that primarily starts with us doing something that we're not always good at in Washington. Washington's full of a lot of good talkers, but we also need to be listeners. And it starts with listening to all of you. So like some of the other members of this caucus, I recently started my first ever creator advisory committee back home in Rhode Island with local creators in my district, in my home state, so that I have sort of a brain trust of people back home who are working in this space, who can let me know what's going on. But here in Washington, we want to have, I think, the same sort of relationship with all of you so that we can support you and support this, I think, very exciting and growing part of our economy. So with that, I was told 2 minutes, again, social media, we got to be quick, right? So I'll stop there, but I just want to thank all of you for participating and for educating us and working with us, and thank our two caucus co-chairs for bringing us all together. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. You might not know me, but my name is Fabiola Lara, and I'm an illustrator from Philadelphia. As an illustrator in this day and age, I'm also a content creator to promote my work online, right? And I'm really excited to be here today to talk about both the opportunities and the challenges that artists face today with the age with AI. Because an AI company wants to use my images. They pulled them straight from social media, fed them to their model to show me the potential of their technology. But they never gave me a warning. They never asked me for permission to do this. Now, this company was only trying to show me the potential of their technology, but I immediately recognized the potential of this being harmful to my career as an artist. Because anyone could then imitate my work, and that is terrifying, as my body of work is something that I've worked my entire life to create. So knowing that just one language model out there can generate all of these images in my style is obviously a terrifying reality that a lot of artists are facing today. Copyright protects what I make. It doesn't protect who I am as an artist. My visual identity, the thing that makes my work mine and is derived from my personal experiences, has no protections under existing law. And I'm not alone. Every visual artist working today faces the same threat. AI didn't just change the speed of imitation, it changed the nature of it. Our laws haven't caught up, and they really need to. That's why the Creator Act matters. Representative Van Duyne, Clarke, have put forward legislation today that actually addresses the reality, protecting the distinctive visual styles that artists have spent careers and sometimes lifetimes developing. This isn't just about artists. Every brand, every platform, every industry that runs on human creativity, everyone who's in the room, has a stake in this, and we need Congress to move on this. Thank you so much for having me. Thanks for your time.
Well, again, I want to thank everyone for being here. Every story that you tell us helps to put an experience to a face, to a name, to a reason why we should actually care. And up here in D.C., there's a lot of different voices. You got 435 members in Congress alone who represent about 750,000 people apiece. You got another 100 senators. Now, I guarantee you, not everyone that you ask is even going to know what a content creator is. Okay? It's just, we're expected to know, I think, this much about this much. And it's actually sometimes very overwhelming. But we don't know what we don't know, and so we're relying on the people who actually are doing this to share those stories with us, to share your concerns, to share your ideas. Because one of the worst things that we could do is start putting regulations, start putting laws in place that would actually completely destroy, dismantle, or fundamentally change what you do. And so before we do that, we want to make sure that we're getting your input. So thank you for your interest in being here today. I want all of you to talk amongst each other. We're going to try to get more lawmakers in here. And if there's anybody in particular that you want to talk to, if there's any stories that you want to share with me, I'm going to be around. But I want to thank YouTube for being here and for helping us set this up. TikTok, it's great to see you all here as well. Adobe did some phenomenal work. And we are excited that you are here. We're excited at the work that you do and really excited for what the future holds. So thank you all very much for being here today.